That is the reason we should be knowing at least some of the important allocations. That makes everything. So the first thing that we are going to study here is with regard to India's vision. So in the budget 2025 to 2026, the finance minister of our country, Mr. Nirmala Sitharaman Madam, she has given the vision of our Bharat. So that's why, in line with this theme, the finance minister has outlined broad principles of Viksit Bharat. Remember this point here, the meaning of Viksit is very, very simple. Viksit is developed nations. In our olden days, or you can say that in our school days, we generally read that India is a developing country. That is how we have read. But after 2047, that will not be the case of us. After 2047, our children or their children will always study in their books as India is a developed nation. Remember this point here. Okay. So Finance Minister Nirmala Madam has given the important principle how we can achieve the Viksit Bharat. So basically, she has given some important themes on which the government of India is working, and we will be achieving the developed nation tag by 2047. So first one here is zero poverty in our country. Okay. For the zero poverty, already this is one of the sustainable development goal also. Zero poverty means there should not be any person who is living below poverty line, and all of us are able to satisfy the basic necessities like food, clothing, footwear, livelihood, health security, employment security, educational, etc. So zero poverty that we are going to focus on by 2047, we have to completely make it zero. 100% good quality school education. School education is the foundation of every children. And when the school education is completed, obviously the children is exposed to what competitive examination, whether they may write the entrance examination to go for higher studies, or they may give what UPSC or state PSC, such examinations. So here what will happen, the students who are studying in the private schools are exposed to more qualitative education, in the sense that they are taught with professional teachers, they are taught with very good digital infrastructure, they have the models on which they evaluate the performance of the child. I mean, they will try to work on it, etc., so on and so forth. That is the reason a child in the private school get better off, okay, with regard to their performance in the school education than the government school. So government of India wanted to make sure that the school education should be very qualitative, and we have to achieve it 100%. Third one we are having here is access to high quality, affordable and comprehensive healthcare. High quality is nothing but the insurance should be the health care whatever is provided, or the health security net whatever is provided by the government in the form of, we already have at the time of the India government came into being, we had Janani, this what I say is that Jivan Jyoti Bima Yojana, Jivan Jyoti Suraksha Yojana. Okay, very minimum amount is put with regard to that particular insurance scheme. That's why they are very affordable. It is applicable to all the age groups above 18. So we are going towards that particular affordability, where we are able to provide insurance in what 200 rupees or 12 rupees, like that. High quality is nothing but the healthcare which is given by the government should be very qualitative, should be very effective, should be cashless, and the delivery of the services can be done from private sector and also from the government. So that's why high quality is there here. And comprehensive healthcare. Comprehensive healthcare is nothing but overall. Okay, for child, for adult, for pregnant women, for older people. Okay, in the form of like through yoga, through Unani, through Siddha, through homeopathy, or to modern medicine. Okay, what kind of healthcare is we are having that kind of healthcare in totality, we have to give it to our citizen. Comprehensive healthcare not only through these institutions, but also primary healthcare, secondary healthcare, tertiary healthcare also should be given. Fourth important theme madam has spelled out while presenting the budget: 100% skilled labor with meaningful employment. Okay, skill. Lot of people in today's time in our country are not having any skill. Skill is something like you are able to do or complete a particular task. Suppose if I ask you to bring out whether a company has done profit or loss, so you have to see the revenues and expenditure of the company, right? Then you can able to say that whether it is a profitable or a loss making company. So to do that, you need to know what some education qualification should be there. You should be knowing what mathematics, so some kind of education qualification, some kind of training you require in order to be called as what skill. But in our country, a lot of people, adult people, are basically unskilled. So that is the reason they are not getting good jobs. They are not getting good jobs. Now you just imagine a auto driver is there. Auto driver is not skilled because does not know how to operate a digital devices, does not know how to operate, is not so educated also to open the app and to see that, to what to actually see the GPS location. He is not well versed with it. What will happen? He will be earning 20,000 rupees per month by just taking the for hire. But if he joins Ola and Uber, he will get insurance, he will get what I say is that any kind of compensation, bonuses will be given, incentives will be given if he is doing more trips. Plus, he will be a part of an organized system because he is able to what know how the smartphone works, how a app works, and he can easily communicate with the customers with the help of what text messaging can call. So that is the reason skill is very important to give what a meaningful employment. Here we are having the fifth one: 70% women in economic activities. This is a very, very important point. Why government is concentrating on women many a times? Okay, very focused on women empowerment or women development means women also consume nearly half of the population of our country. It's not like that 70% of the India population is male and 30% of the India's population is women. It's not like that. Almost around 49% of the population is women, and 50% is like two plus or minus two differences there with regard to what male and female population. And you are aware of this fact in your home or relatives. You will also see that all the women who are educated, okay, maybe at this point of time they are not working. They may be taking care of children, and after the children have grown up, they are not revising their career also. You might be aware of this fact. That is there in our society, in our relatives also. We'll see that government of India wanted like 70% of the women to come into what economic activities. So if we try to give them a loan or try to ask them to be a part of self-help groups like that organizations, they can revive their career. They can be a part of what economic activities. The last one we are having, the annadata of our country, the farmers, making our country the food basket of the world. Means a basket is there where you are having apple, pineapple, potato is there, rice is there, wheat is there. If any country wants any kind of fruits or vegetables or cereals, then they have to look only what? They have to look only India, because we are the food basket of the world. So if anybody wants us, okay, we are there, we are going to export you. We are there, we are going to export you, like that. So making the farmers the food basket of the world. This on this seven themes we are actually working. Six themes we are actually working. When we are able to achieve all of this, then we are able to get what? Viksit Bharat by 2047. And government of India, with the help of this budget only, madam has told that by 2030 we wanted to make India a 5 trillion economy. A 5 trillion economy. I hope the concept and the important themes have been covered here. Let us go ahead. Okay, budget for the fiscal year 2025 to 2026 is 50.64 lakh crore. Revenue expenditure is almost 39.4 lakh crore. So this much is budget. Budget is 50. Revenue is almost 40 lakh crore. It means what? Revenue components is more than, okay, revenue component more than what? Capital component. It means recurring expenditures of government are more. It means what? Capital expenditures will become less, and asset creation in our country will also become less, because government of India is spending more on what? Recurring and short-term expenditures. It means not able to give or not able to finance larger infrastructure projects, creation of sales, NIMS, whatsoever. Capital expenditure, as I've told you, that it's just 11 lakh crore. With the help of this 11 lakh crore only, we are going to lay lot of railway tracks. We are going to create new airports. We are going to create a new defense systems, ordnance factories. Now, after the Operation Sindoor, we understood that we have to be a very, very military oriented country also. For that purpose, lot of money will be going. Okay, this expenditure should increase because it gives the infrastructure that sustains for lot of period of time. 11.21 lakh crore is equal to 3.1% of our GDP at this point of time. Agriculture department has got around 1.7 lakh crore. Panchayat Raj and Rural Development has got around 2.66 lakh crore. Education department has got around 1.28 lakh crore. In that 1.28 lakh crore, 73,000 is given for what? School education. Means nearly you can say that more than half of the expenditure is given for the school education, because in one of our theme we have seen that government want to promote what? Quality education. Want to promote quality education. That is the reason. Home department, like Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister of our country, his department has got around 2.33 lakh crore. GSDP growth rate according to the budget document is estimated to be nominal GDP growth rate of 10.1% in 2025 to 2026. GDP at current prices is 324 lakh crore. Okay, our GDP at this point of time, if you consider the GDP of Telangana, if my state is there, it's around 3 to 4 lakh crore. Okay, so that's why 324 lakh crore is nothing but all the states GDP together is how much? It is around 325 to 4 lakh crore. Gruha Jyoti scheme, very important scheme that promotes rooftop solarization of the households and various government departments. It was launched during the Lord Rama consecration ceremony. Okay, it was launched on that particular auspicious day. Gruha Jyoti scheme. The expenditure on this is grown by 80% to 20,000 crore. Okay, remember this point. Gender budget for only women 4.49 lakh crore are given, which is nothing but 8.89% of the total budget. Renewable energy has got around 22,600 crores. Inflation rate according to from April to January is around 4.9%, which is very good, because according to Urjit Patel committee, inflation should be targeting between 2 to 6% band, and we are at 4%. According to him, is a very best inflation rate. We are at 4.9. That is very good. We are not bad with regard to what? Inflation. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana house construction scheme for the BPL population, almost given what? 3,500 crore rupees. New and renewables have got 26,000 crore rupees. Minority welfare has got 3,350 crore rupees. Per capita income per person, how much amount of money an individual is earning in our country on an average. Economic survey has 23 to 24 has given, because in the latest economic survey we don't have the data with regard to per capita income. When the government is like government of today is now determined to conduct the census in the year 2026. Okay, so in 2076 when the survey is census is conducted, no, we again get the latest figures of per capita income. So at this point of time we are having the latest information of per capita income from the economic survey 23 to 24. The per capita income is currently 2.12 lakh. Okay, and it is projected to be around 14.9 lakh by 2047. It means what? By 2047, your home, my home, everyone home, whether we are in APL or BPL whatsoever, all of us are minimum able to earn 15 lakh rupees per annum annually, I'm saying. So we are in 2025, 2035, 2045, means within 20 years, the government aim is to give every one of us almost like 15 lakh rupees per annum. Okay, per individual on an average. So these are some of the major expenditures. Defense already we have done 4.91 lakh crore. Rural development has got 2.66 lakh crore. Home affairs we have already seen. Agriculture allied activities have got 1.71 lakh crore. Education has got 1.28 lakh crore. Health has given 98,000 crores. Urban development 96,000 crore. Other numbers I'm rounding it off. Okay, so you also study that way only. That is more than enough. IT and telecom has got 95,000 crore. Energy has got 81,000 crores. Commerce and industry has got 65,000 crores. Social welfare 60,000 crores. Scientific departments, okay, DRDO, ISRO, etc. have got BARC 55,000 crores. Okay, this is the various allocations we have learned, and also we have seen the theme. Now let us go important aspect with regard to the taxation. We'll go with the taxation now. Right. Tax information, let us see. You all might be aware of this fact that direct taxes, indirect taxes, the government of India collects. In the same way, state governments also collect direct taxes and indirect taxes. So we'll talk about the receipts of the government. Receipts means from what are the various resources by which the government of India gets money, nothing but they get the revenue. rupee comes from, पैसा कहाँ से आता है गवर्नमेंट को. Okay, the highest you have to remember, it is around borrowings and other liabilities. 24% of borrowings and other liabilities means we are raising loans from IMF, World Banks, bilateral loans are there, etc. So and so forth. So lot of amount of money, a large chunk of percentage of money is coming from what? Borrowings and liabilities. Followed by, this is very good. Okay, income tax gives second highest source of revenue to the government of India, that is 22%. Followed by GST we are having, which gives around 18% of the revenues to the government of India, and it stands third with regard to what? Revenue sources. Okay, so in the examination, if they ask you which one of the following revenue source is occupies the lion's share with regard to revenue receipts of the government, it is nothing but borrowings and liability. The second one is income tax. The third one we are having is GST and other taxes. 18% is over. Now we have to see what corporation tax, nothing but the companies, the Tata, okay, the Reliance, and you can say the Apple, Nestle, whatever the companies that we are having, how much amount of tax is levied on them. That is called as corporation tax. From the corporation tax, the government of India is getting fourth highest source of revenue, that is around 17%. So borrowings and liabilities stands number one, first rank. The second rank goes to what? Income tax. The third goes to what? GST, and the fourth goes to corporation tax. Remember this point here. And the other ones you can go by yourself. Okay, because with a quick revision, if you're knowing the highest two and highest, that is enough. If you want to know the lowest share of contribution is coming from non-debt capital receipt, that is only 1%. Non-debt capital receipt. Non-debt capital receipts are nothing but the receipt that the government of India gets, and they don't have to repay. They don't have to what they are not liable to pay it back. Those kinds of receipts are called as non-debt, means udhar nahi hai, किसी को उधार नहीं है, that is called as non-debt capital receipt. One such example if I want to give is in disinvestment. Disinvestment is nothing but agar government of India sells one company, whatever the money government of India gets from that company, that is called as non-debt capital receipts. Rupee goes to, after the government of India gets the money, just like your father gets the income, your father will definitely do the expenditure on rent, on ration, on your education, on your coaching, on the TV or OTT, whatsoever. So in the same way, when government of India get the money, they also need to do the expenditures. And what are the major sources of expenditure, or you can say the major heads of expenditure the government of India is having? So here you can see the highest one we're having is, okay, state share of taxes and duties 22%. Means obviously finance commission gives recommendation to the central government that whatever the money you are getting, this much amount of money should be given to what? State government. Okay, so whenever, why? Because so I am in Telangana, I am earning here, I am using the resources of Telangana, I am using road, I am using metro of Telangana, I am using what? Water of Telangana, I am using the mineral resources of Telangana, whatsoever. I'm taking the resource utilization is being done in what? Telangana, but actually I'm paying to whom the income tax? The central government. Then the state government will say, no, all the things you are doing here, मेरे घर में रहना है, मेरे घर में खाना है, मेरे घर में पीना है, but पैसे किसी और को देना है, ऐसा नहीं होता. You also give us. You also give us. So that's how finance commission, that's how our financial devolution happens in our country. Okay, the central government is recommended, given a recommendation by the finance commission, and central government on the recommendation give some amount of some percentage of money whatever they earn to the states. So that constitutes number one expenditure of the government, that is state share of taxes and duties. 22% government of India give to the state. 22, after 22 we got here 20%. Interest payments, you understand the point here. The highest source of revenue to the government is here borrowings and liability. Okay, then the highest, then it becomes a obviously whenever you borrow you have to give interest, right or wrong? So when the highest source of revenues are borrowings, obviously interest payments will show up in top three or not? Yes. So that's why interest payments constitute 20% of our expenditures by the government. Okay, after this 20%, now we are having what? Central sector schemes. Okay, a lot of schemes initiated by the central government. Okay, state government will implement. Some are completely sponsored by the government of India. Some are sponsored by, but both by central and state government share the revenue resource. So such central sector schemes, 16% is given. So the maximum expenditures are going towards state share of taxes and duties. The second maximum expenditure of government of India is interest payment. The third important expenditures are what? Central sector scheme, that constitute around 16%. Then we also have here 888. All of these stands in what? 8%. That is centrally sponsored scheme. Again, in that expenditure, 8% is going. Finance commission and other transfers, 8% is going. Okay, this is important. Major subsidies 6%. Defense, very important, 8%. This is how the complete breakage. Other expenditures, many other expenditures are there, which are all clubbed under what? Other expenditures. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, right. Now let us talk about revenue receipts. Okay, a budget will have what? Revenue and capital, two components. Here we are having revenue receipts. Okay, again revenue receipts are divided tax revenues, non-tax revenues. Okay, so we are talking about what? Here receipts. Okay, which are revenue receipts and capital receipts. So in capital also we are having capital receipts, capital expenditure. In revenue also we are having revenue receipts, revenue expenditure. So we'll see revenue receipts, we'll see first of all. Okay, recurring amount of money government of India is like income tax. Every month I have to pay, right? That is called as what? Revenue receipts of the government. Okay, now revenue receipts actually stands at 34.2 lakh crore. Here you can see 34.2 lakh crore. It has increased. For the examination point of view, you have to see that it has increased from last year, but decreased than the previous year. It increased. Okay, increase, but here decrease. So you have to say that revenue receipts does not have a steady increase, is not there. Sometimes it is low, sometimes high, low, high, like that. But this point you have to remember that over last 4 years there is no steady increase in revenue receipts, and it should not be. As an economic concept, revenue receipts should not increase, it should decrease. Decrease, the more revenue receipt decreases, what will happen? Okay, the capital receipts will increase, and that will become long-term investment for the government, and for us also it will become qualitative development in our lives also. So revenue receipts at this point of time for 2025 to 2026 budget stands at 34.2%. Whereas capital receipts is continuously decreasing. You can see 17.1 became 16.9, 16.3. Again, little slight increase is there, but last 3 years increase and a slight increase in the previous year. So you have to remember the revenue receipts of 2025, 2026, and the capital receipts of 2025 to 2026. Then if we talk about effective capital expenditure, means capital expenditure of the government for 2025 to 2026 stood at 15.6%. For revenue expenditure stood at what? 39.4 lakh crore. Okay, capital expenditure increased, which is very good sign, and revenue expenditure also increased, which is a very bad sign, but it is only 2%. That's very fine. But this increase is important for a country like India, where we are actually promoting make in India, manufacturing missions. We want to make India as a global manufacturing hub. So that is the reason creation of more infrastructure will give to more boost more FDIs in our country. So increasing this will always should bring a smile, on our faces. And if it decreases, if revenue or expenditures are increasing, then it means it will should bring what? Little bit less smile on your face. Okay, robust economic foundations in that deficit trends. So you can see that fiscal deficit is 4.4%. Okay, revenue deficit 1.5%, effective revenue deficit 0.3%, primary deficit is 0.8%. Primary deficit 0.8%. Remember this point. If this much also you are studying, that is more than enough. Increase, decrease is another matter, but remember this point. The decrease is there, decrease is there, decrease is there, decrease is there. So all the four are decreasing from the last 4 years. So the simple you have to put in your mind. Okay, first of all, know the values. These values are important. Then all of them are having a decreasing trend. This is important. Okay, trends in net receipts of the center. Net receipts of the center are nothing but when central government do some expenditure in order to collect taxes, whatever it is. After removing the expenditure, whatever the money the government of India gets from the taxes, that is called as net receipt. That is called as net receipt. I'll tell you a very simple example. Please try to understand it. Suppose A and B are there. A have to B have to give 50,000 to the A. B have to give 50,000 to the A. So gross income of the A should be what? 50,000 or not? Okay, A, B, two individuals are there. B should give 50,000 to A. Okay, it means what? Gross income of A is what? 50,000. But B said that you come and collect. So A apni gaadi start karke he went to the B. वो गाड़ी start करके he spent around 200 rupees to get that income. So what is his net income? So gross income कितना था? 50,000 minus 200, that will become what? 48,000. So this is called as net. In the same way, when government collect taxes, no, for collecting the taxes, lot of money is spent on infrastructure, computers, employees, etc. Removing all that expenditure, whatever the government gets, that is called as net receipts of the center. So net center's tax revenues, okay, which is in the green, it is 28.4%. Non-tax revenues of the government, which is in orange, 5.8%, and non-debt capital receipts of the government, already we have seen it, 0.8%. Total transfer to the states is completely continuously increasing over a period of time. Nothing but here government, central government is empowering what? State government with regard to giving the money. Okay, so 25.60% of transfers happen from the central government to the states and union territory, and the graph is continuously increasing. Okay, right? Chalo. If you're having any doubts, please do ask me. I'll try to see that. Okay, do put in the live chat if you want to put, so that I'll just take up if any doubts are there in the whatever we have learned till today. Okay, chalo. This is the last topic that we'll do, and in the next class we'll complete our complete budget. Relief to the household earners. We are earning money. Now, do that income is completely ours income, or government of India want to take some of it, or government of India want to save some of it? Let us talk about it. Relief for the landowner. Landowner is nothing but if you are having 2-3 houses are there, or one house is there, two houses there, some commercial properties are there, whatever it is. Two self-occupied properties considered as nil for the purpose of tax instead of one earlier. If Mr. X is having in Hyderabad, where I live is Sheikpet. In Sheikpet, one Mr. X is having one flat. Okay, and in Hyderabad only, Jubilee Hills, Mr. X is having what? Another flat. So before that, if you are having more than one, you are taxed. Landowner are taxed. You have to pay property tax. Now you don't have to pay it. Two houses are considered as nil for taxation. Remember this point. Okay, chalo. Now, capital gains tax. First of all the students will always have a problem. What is the meaning of first? Capital assets that a individual can hold, that I can hold as a person. Okay, listed shares, whatever you buy from Bombay Stock Exchange or National Stock Exchange or any of the stock exchanges, that is your capital asset. Capital asset is nothing but anything that is converted into what? Money. Anything that is converted into what? Money. That is called as what? Capital asset. So if you're buying any listed shares, whether of Zomato's or LIC whatsoever, if you're buying mutual funds, which we also do in the form of lot of apps are available. Okay, tax-free bonds are there. Sovereign gold bond scheme is launched by Government of India. For that, I even have purchases. Debentures, if you're buying unlisted shares are there. Some companies don't list on the stock exchange but still issue shares. That kind of companies are called as unlisted companies, and they shares are called as unlisted shares. Real estate, okay, means your property, open flat, etc., are taxed based on how long they are held. Means all of these you actually always have it security of tenure, like a sovereign gold bond scheme is there. For that purpose, 8 years you have to hold that particular asset. Listed share is there if you are selling it 1 month, or if you are selling after 36 months. So basically what happens is less than 12 months are called as short term assets. More than 12 months if you are holding your assets comes into the category of long term assets. That's why when you are under short, when you're holding any assets whatever I have listed here, less than 12 months, that tax is different. If you're holding the assets more than 12 months, for that tax is different. For dividing the assets into long term and short term, there will be only two holding periods, 12 months and 24 months. Okay, so for long term capital gains, so if you have hold it, like if I put 5,000 rupees in a mutual fund, which Sachin Tendulkar generally gives the advertisement on it. Okay, if I buy a mutual fund for more than 12 months, then I have to pay whatever the amount of profit I do on that mutual fund, 10 to 12.5% will be collected from me. Okay, unit linked insurance plan. If your insurance plan is having, okay, if you're paying annual premiums on your insurance plans of about 2.5 lakh rupees you are paying in the insurance plans, then that is also considered as long-term capital asset, and whatever the gains that you get from it, okay, you have to pay 12.5% on the gains. For short-term capital asset, if you are holding any of those assets less than 12 months, then you have to, whatever the profit you do on it, 15% right away you have to give to the government. Actually, you don't have to give to the government. The app which you are using, the company that you are into, that they will only deduct it, they'll give it to you, they'll pay to the government. So basically you don't have to do by yourself, they all will come with deduction. Okay, so one particular relief is given, what residential relief is given to us, right? Here residential relief is given for the property owners. One important benefit is given in this particular budget, capital gains tax on the household investment. We have given what benefit here. Then we also have here for landlords, another important is there. Okay, if a landlord is earning more than 2.4 lakh rupees, up to 2.4 lakh rupees before, then he has to what he has to pay tax to the government. Okay, this has increased to what 6 lakh rupees, because see, a normal house like 20,000, if you see 1 BHK in Hyderabad, if you see 20,000 rupees, that will come to around 12 months 24. Okay, 24 means 22 lakhs 40,000. Means just imagine a point here that 20,000 is a very lower class segment, basically have this particular 20,000 rupees of flat. Little bit higher class will go 30 to 35, they will be living in that. Upper middle class people will be living in this particular here. So this will become around what, now lot of people are their money has increased. That is the reason what is happening is the landowners, or you can say the tenants, are paying more than 2.4 lakh per month, per annually they are paying the rents more than 2 lakh 40,000. Okay, because of that, what is happening, lot of corruption is happening, and the landlords are actually not showing, not giving the PAN cards, not taking the PAN cards, their PAN cards they are not giving. This problem you would have seen in the ground reality also. So in order to make that particular process very streamlined and make it what graft free, the government of India has increased the TDS on, means the tax on the rented properties up to 6 lakhs. It means what, if I live in a home and pay to the owner 6 lakh rupees for 12 months also, the owner don't need to pay the tax. When you don't need to pay the tax, then what is the use of taking what PAN card? Okay, so this relief is given. Income tax exemptions are given. Additionally, the increase in the income tax exemption limit to 12 lakh under the new regime. Under the new regime, up to 12 lakhs, you don't have to pay anything. You don't have to pay anything. Personal taxes and financial reforms, if you can see, we can just finish it off very faster. No tax for income up to 12 lakh rupees. Remember this point. Okay, new income tax slabs. Why 75 means it's the standard deduction. Means actually 12.75 lakhs you can earn, and 75 lakhs is what government of India does not consider for the taxes only. That is called as standard deduction. So up to 12 lakhs is normally given, but actually 12.75 lakhs you can earn. Okay, and you will not be taxed. New income tax 0 to 4 lakhs nil, 4 to 8 5%. Okay, 8 to 12 10%. 12 to 16 lakhs if you are earning 15%, 16 to 20 lakhs you are earning 20%, 20 to 24 lakhs if you are earning 25%, and if you are earning about 24 lakhs, you will be taxed what 30%. You will be taxed what 30%. Remember this point. Higher exemption for a senior citizen, interest income limit raised. If any citizen, a senior citizen who is about 60 years of age, if he earns the income, okay, more than 50,000, he was taxed before. Now this interest income of the senior citizen increased to what 1 lakh. Up to 1 lakh, whatever the interest income they will get, no, they will not be taxed. Above 1 lakh, like on 10 lakh rupees of FD, on 10 lakh rupees of FD, a senior citizen, like my father is like 65 years. If he does a 10 lakh rupees of FD in Kotak, Kotak will give around how much after 1 year? Okay, 10 lakh is there, no? Kotak will give 70,000 because 7% is the FD. 70%, 7% is the interest rate on the FD. So before what happened is, it is 50,000 above, no, 70,000, I will be taxed. Now I will not be taxed. My dad will not be taxed. Why? Because the income on the interest earned, whatever the interest, whether you are earning in FD or whatsoever, okay, increase to what 1 lakh. So my dad will not be taxed up to 1 lakh. It means the capacity of spending of the household has increased. Higher TDS exemption for rent, threshold increase from 2 point we have already seen. Updated return filings extended. Taxpayers now have 4 years to correct the filings. Means you are given 4 years of time if you have ever not paid a tax to the government, or if you have ever missed your tax to the government, or sometimes you might have paid extra income to the government and you want a refund from the government. Okay, any kind of disputes, any kind of correction if you want to do, up to 4 years you can do that correction. So that all is given in the new. So this is all about income. Okay, personal household benefits we have seen. From the budget we have seen what will come from the chronology. We have seen the theme of the, I'll write it here, what we have seen till now. We have seen the theme of Government of India to become a Viksit Bharat. We have seen all the important 6 themes we have seen. Then we have seen what allocations we have seen, all the allocations. Then we have seen rupee is coming from where, rupee is going from where. After that we have seen the income tax relief to the budget relief to the household income earners, that we have seen. I hope that this is all clear to you. I'll come in the next class and complete the rest of it. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye bye. And do join our courses and empower us.